So hi, welcome to the Noise Podcast here with Cameron from Twin XL. We're going to ask some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired you to start the project, and what does the project name mean?
It kind of started as an act by accident. John and Steven and myself have been friends for like over a decade, and they played in a band called the Somerset, and I played with a band called the Ready Set, and we knew each other. We bumped into each other all the time, and after so long, we all ended up living in LA, and then we ran into each other more. And I think we talked about making some music together, just to see what would happen for like years. And then eventually we did, because it's funny, like LA, whatever, the kind of like LA songwriter circuit is so funny, because you'll be like, "Oh, we should write a song sometime," and then it just never happens.
Yeah.
And luckily for us, it did, and it just clicked. And I don't think our intention was to actually start a band. We were like, maybe we write some songs and they're great for one of our other projects or another artist. And we just kind of kept getting together over the course of a year. And then John called me and he was like, "This is like the coolest music ever, and do you want to be in a band with me?" Kind of like what you would do in high school.
Okay.
Like,
Interesting.
the guy at the cafeteria, "Hey, you want to be in a band?" Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was kind of an accident. And then the name is even funnier because it doesn't mean really anything. It was John was driving. We were trying to come up with a name for these songs just to put them out. And John saw the word twin on something when he was driving. And then so we were like, okay, let's call the band Twin. Obviously that's impossible because there's probably a million bands called Twin.
Yeah.
And we just added the XL because we thought it looked cool.
Okay.
And we actually were totally not thinking about the fact that it's also a bed size. So
Good point.
kind of shot ourselves in the foot because we're really hard to Google.
Yeah, I had to Google Twin XL band.
Right. So we're like, well, if we get to the point where we come up before, pictures of beds on Google Images, then we know we made it.
Definitely.
They're pretty impressive. Beds are pretty well known.
They are.
Beds are popular.
Yeah, so I've heard.
I'd like to think so. Yeah. So congrats on your newest release, Lemonade. How do you feel the response to that song so far?
I think it was really good. We've been writing a lot over the course of the pandemic and trying to just, keep making new music. It's unfortunately, since we can't tour, that's kind of been the focus, is like, how do we get more music out than we normally would? And how do we make more music videos and things like that? And I think it was a little bit of a departure for us, lyrically at least. And I think people really responded well to it. And it was the first, the video was the first video we actually properly performed like a band.
Oh.
As opposed to doing something quirky and weird like our other videos. So, and I think that was intentional because like people can't see us play right now. So,
Yeah.
And people are wanting it really bad. Everyone's like counting the days till we can all go to a concert and rock out together. So we wanted to incorporate that into the video as well.
Okay.
That's good.
Since you guys did that for a video, are you guys like planning live stream concerts of any sort, since you want to give people like that show feeling kind of thing?
We've done some acoustic stuff on just hopping on Instagram and doing that. We did that for a little while, and there's only so many times you could play your songs acoustic on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, we've heard them. I think it's something we've talked about and we really want to do. I feel like, we have a couple new songs out now that we haven't played live too much or not at all. And I think at some point, once we have like almost a full set of new stuff, it would be really cool to do a live stream and just like, kind of give people an idea of what it would feel like to be at a show, listening to those songs in real life.
Okay. Very interesting. So you're not like one of those bands that's like, we're dropping new music, but the first time we want to perform it live is in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have. I don't know. I think it's hard to think that way right now when we're gonna be able to do that. The first couple songs we dropped a song called Melt and a song called Problematic, at the start of the year, right when all the crazy stuff went down, and we had already been playing those on tour, so we were kind of already testing out the reaction to them at shows prior to the pandemic, obviously, and we were like, well, people have already seen us play them, so let's put them out. And now we're kind of moving into like new stuff that we started working on over the last year.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for that song?
So that song we wrote with a production / writer duo called The Heavy, who are good friends of ours. And it was just a normal session. We were just kind of like, okay, well, we had never gotten together, all of us, with them before. So we wanted to just see if we got something cool, just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. And I think like even we didn't necessarily talk about this, but I think for me personally, I was like, at this point, it was like, I don't know, mid-year maybe. And I was so just drained from all the media, all the news, everything. And I was just totally like shut down. Not really like, totally depressed or not really totally stoked on life, and just kind of like nothing. And I was like, how do I say that in a song? And I think a lot of people are feeling that. My favorite line from the song is, I hate to say it, but my heart is on vacation. It's kind of a way just to be like, sorry, like I'm not here right now, but here's this song or something.
Okay.
Just trying to like kind of put that feeling that I think a lot of people are feeling into words.
Okay. So you kind of went into it a little bit, but if you want to go a little bit more in depth, can you tell me where your headspace was while creating this song?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been such a weird year because it's like you want to keep making music, but the normal reasons you're doing it like don't exist. So you're like, okay, well, we're going to make these songs and we're going to make the best songs we can. And then we're going to go put them out, and then we're going to go tour on them for 2 years. So it's kind of like at that point, I think I was like, well, I don't know why we're doing this, but we just have to do it because it's what we do, and I don't know how to do anything else. So that's kind of where my head was at that point. I think now things are a little more settled into like, people have kind of made their plans of like, okay, we're going to do this live stream, we're going to do this music video, and we're gonna however you're gonna promote it. But at that point, yeah, I was just totally like, I don't know, I just felt like defeated by everything.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
That's valid. Yeah.
So what band or artist influence do you think you can hear the most on this track, if any?
I don't know. I think it sounds like us. I think it sounds like a song that could be on the last EP, besides the lyrics being a little darker. I mean, we have a couple songs that were a little darker lyrically on the EP, but it was very much like a summery sound. I guess it just kind of feels, and I think that was because we've written like over 30, 40 songs over the last year. And I think this one felt like a really cool bridge to what we're going to do next, where we might be a little more experimental. But I think it sounds like Twin XL. I think it has bright tones. I think the lyrics are a little edgy and ironic. I think it has a lot of energy. Like you can almost feel how we would play it live. And yeah, I just think it sounds like us, and it sounds like a cool continuation of what we were doing before.
Okay. You said experimental for upcoming music. What are you talking about? Like, are you guys going to do something like completely drastic for new stuff, or is it just going to be a slight switch in tone?
We have a collab track coming out, I think like next week.
Oh, wow.
They tell me these things and then I just forget.
Felt that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it comes out next week, and I don't want to say who the collab is with because it's a surprise. But
okay.
It's two artists that are very good friends of ours that we've played shows with before, and it is definitely a curveball for us. I don't think it sounds like Twin XL as you know it. I don't think it sounds like the other artists that are on the track as you know them. It's just its own thing. that's going to live in its own world. And I don't necessarily think that means we're going to go become a totally different band, but I think the cool thing about right now is the way that everyone's making music is so different. Like people are file sharing over Zoom, or people are writing over the internet basically. And I think it's kind of led to people taking risks and doing stuff they wouldn't normally do. So yeah. And I think for us too, it's like we're always kind of thinking about what we're going to do next, and want to keep people on their toes and challenge ourselves to grow and not just continually do the same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm very excited for that.
You've got my head going a million miles an hour for that collab track now.
I think I have an idea, but I'm excited to see. So this one should go like super, super fast. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this new single for new listeners in 3 words.
Okay. I'm going to choose my words wisely here.
Okay, but it has to be quick.
Oh, it has to be quick.
Yeah.
My head.
Mm-hmm.
Dark, summer, sad.
Dark, summer, sad. It's good.
Those words typically wouldn't work together.
Exactly.
But I agree.
Summer and dark. Yeah.
It should have been dark, sad summer, but
okay, you can rearrange them.
We'll go with dark, summer, sad.
All right. You know, I agree. So on that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while listening to this song?
I've never actually thought about that. I mean, I guess I have thought about that, but I think for me with music, when I listen to music, I'm usually looking for one of 2 things. I either want to hear something that takes me to a totally new world, and it's like an escape from where I am right now. And it provides that sort of like comfort in that way, or not even comfort, but it takes me away from where I am, and it reminds me of something. It's nostalgic. Mm-hmm. And puts me in a certain place in my life again, or whatever it is. Or I'm listening for songs that really resonate with me, and it's like, wow, this person is feeling exactly what I'm feeling, mm-hmm. and that provides comfort to me. So as long as it does one of those 2 things, I feel like I did my job as a songwriter.
That's good. Yeah. It definitely gave me that just reminiscent feeling. So thank you for that. That's good. So I know the world is kind of shut down right now, but what can fans expect when you guys get back on the road, get back to touring, I guess, with this new era that's coming up? What can we expect with that?
Oh man, it's so hard to think about. I've like pictured in my head so many times since all this stuff has been happening, like what is it going to feel like to get on stage that first show back, mm-hmm. and hit the first chord and the lights come up, and I think it's going to be the most emotional thing for everyone.
Definitely.
Honestly, I kind of feel like I would love to do a club show, no fancy lights, no anything, and just a regular show where it's just about us performing, you know, the people who come to see us singing, and just have it be that. And it's like, I think even just that would be glorious.
Definitely. So just focus on the music basically, rather than the whole theatrical part of it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
So speaking of tours, in 2019, you guys went on tour with I Don't Know How. We wanted to ask what that experience was like and how that happened.
That was a wonderful experience. They're very, very kind people. They were very good to us. I've known Ryan Seaman for, since like 2010 or something.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's actually funny because I had this band called Weather Star back then. That was like, MySpace era. Mm-hmm. And he took me on my first tour ever.
Oh,
wow.
So he was in a band called The Bigger Lights, and he took Weather Star out on tour. And so it was really cool, full circle thing that they were cool enough to bring Twin XL out on tour. And they asked us to do it. It wasn't like arranged through managers or anything like that. Really, we were just, I knew Ryan, and he was like, hey, we're doing some headlining shows, and you guys want to come play with us? And it was just really fun, and their fans were awesome and very receptive to us. They treated us very well. We had a nice green room every day. Not that the other bands we've been out with haven't treated us well. Everyone's been super nice, but that's always one of the things that especially when you're touring with someone you haven't toured with before. In those cases, you're like, man, I hope they're nice and like,
yeah, because you're stuck with them for a while.
Yeah, especially as an opening band, and you want to be really respectful and just kind of roll with whatever. So luckily, they were a pleasure to tour with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome.
So speaking of that tour, actually, would you guys ever do like a collab, like a split or a song? Will there ever be an I Don't Know How and Twin XL mashup? Is that in the future? Is that just kind of like let's just stick to tours?
I would love to do that. We haven't talked about that
yet,
but I think that would be awesome. I would be super into it. I hope they would be too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think your sounds would go together really well. Honestly, I think it'd be good.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, tweet at them.
Okay. Sure.
So where do you see the band in the next 5 years? And are these singles leading up to anything bigger, or are we just dropping singles now, trying to stay relevant in the algorithm?
Yes and yes. I don't know. In 5 years, I hope we're just still doing, I hope by then we're allowed to play shows again. That would be good. I hope that we have put a proper album out. That was one of the things, I think, because we were on tour with Fitz and the Tantrums. The pandemic hit. We only got cut short by 2 shows, which was really lucky, even though it probably should have been cut short before that. Mm-hmm. But we got back, and I think the plan, we actually didn't have, we had a couple of festivals. We had so it was one of Firefly, or one of the, I don't know if it was that one. Bottle Rock. That's what it was. We had Bottle Rock, and then we had a couple other festival type things for the summer. And then we were going to take the whole summer off to write anyway. So the plan was to put an album out. And I think we're still going to do that. But I think now that we don't know when we're going to be able to really support an album cycle and create a vibe for the album and play the album, we're more so definitely just like thinking about, okay, what's the best song that we have? Mm-hmm. What do we think is going to best service our fans and the people who would come to see us at shows? Like, what do those people want? And we're just trying to do our best to give them the best stuff possible. And I think ultimately a lot of these songs that we're putting out right now will be on an album.
Okay.
But the pressure of doing the full album is definitely not as there's not as much pressure on that as there was.
Okay. I get that.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. So for the last couple of questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you. Mm-hmm. Sick. So we're going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh, man. It would be, there's a sushi place in Los Angeles called Sugarfish. Mm-hmm. And it would be Sugarfish. Probably with sake. Just kind of, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Simple.
Solid.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Fictional world for a week. This is a hard question. There's so many great fictional worlds.
Yep.
I guess I would do Hogwarts.
What house are you?
Slytherin.
Slytherin. Okay. All right. That's fair. I can respect that.
I like picking Slytherin because I know it's like the wrong answer.
No. There's no wrong answer. Oh my god.
Slytherin people, right?
Yeah. So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Green.
Specific shade.
Like a dark teal.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Alright.
leaning towards green.
Okay.
Okay.
So a tealy green.
Really green.
That's good. That's a good one.
No, I actually thought about that the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, because I mean, I want to say over the course of my life, my favorite color has changed.
Ooh.
But I don't know if it truly has.
Oh.
And if you're just picking like without, the teal in between colors in between, as I like to call them, I feel like there's been periods of my life where I've picked blue, but I don't think that it was actually blue. I think I just said blue because that was the color that you were supposed to like. And I think that green has always been my favorite color. And I actually decided this like 3 days ago. So it was
Oh my
really
god. This is very new.
Yeah.
Very new. Wow.
And I also think that like the day that you don't have a favorite color is the day that you've like totally grown up, and I don't ever want to do that. So
Yeah.
I think that's
Never.
what people say.
Okay.
Really? Okay. That's horrible.
Have a favorite color, even if you're lying.
Mhm.
Well, we've only had a couple people say they don't have a favorite color, so
Yeah.
I guess most
and then
people
we
haven't
still
grown up.
force them. Yeah.
You have to force them. You have to have a favorite color.
You
exactly.
have to.
Just pick one. It's easy.
It could be black or white, which Glory says is a shade.
They're
but-
shades.
Yeah.
Still counts. It's fine.
So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
I kind of talked about the collab coming out next week. I don't know if this will probably be up by then, I assume. Or
Right about then, or the
Yeah.
week after.
time that you see this video, please go listen to our new collab song. And you know what? It's called Lonely.
Okay.
It's a song called Lonely, and it's really great. And I hope that you like it. And thank you for listening to us if you like to listen to us.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting down with us. This has been Cameron from Twin XL, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.